Hey everyone. Please support what I do to help keep Greyhawk alive by subscribing to the channel. Also, please consider becoming a channel member to get early access to videos, exclusive live chats, quarterly adventure modules, and more. Thanks, and enjoy the show.
So, as I record this, the Dungeon Master's Guide has just come out, but it's eclipsed another book that also just came out, which is called Worlds and Realms by Adam Lee, and I want to talk about it today on Greyhawk Grognard. So there's a bit of a delay between when I record these videos and when they go public, so that my Patreon supporters and channel members can get a sneak preview. But I wanted to talk about this because this is a huge, hefty book. I mean, you can see how big this is. It's almost. It's over 360 pages, and it is published by 10 Speed Press. It is not published, in fact, by Wizards of the Coast, although it is licensed. It's an official license thing. And it seems to be a kind of a tour through all of the different, well, through many different of the settings that have been in the D&D universe over the multiverse over the years. There's a chapter on Greyhawk, yay. There's a chapter on Mystara, Dragonlance, Faerun, Eberron. There's the inner and parallel planes, so the Feywild and Shadowfell. Beyond the material plane, Spelljammers, the Nine Hells, the Abyss, Sigil, Outer Planes, and Far Realm. And then there's about all the different contributors and so forth. And I wanted to kind of focus on the Greyhawk section here because the idea is that the book is written by Mordenkainen and is kind of a memoir of his travels across the multiverse and so forth. So okay, fine. And it gives it's kind of a celebration of 50 years of D&D, and it's stuffed with art from the earliest days of D&D up through today. I'm not going to obviously show too much because demonetization and so forth, but they do have a section on Greyhawk, and I wanted to just go through this a little bit. Again, it's more you're not going to find a lot of new material in here. Although there's a couple of things in here that, since it's that can be accounted as canon because for all that canon matters nowadays. But it does add some more details to a few things. But it's not you're not going to find a lot of in-depth lore here. It's more just kind of a light wisping description of things. And because it is written by Mordenkainen, it talks about Igwilv and balance, and it keeps, at least the Greyhawk section keeps coming back to the theme of balance, which I love because it's one of the things that I recognize as being central to the idea of the world of Greyhawk is that balance, and there are people like Mordenkainen who are actively there to make sure that neither law nor chaos nor good nor evil triumphs. It's all kept in a balance, and there's a wheel that turns. There's a section here on how dangerous Greyhawk is and the enemies of Oerth. It's got Tharizdun and Vecna, Ayuz, Pasha slash Igwilv. They go with that. Well, I suppose they have to at this point. But it's funny. The thing on Vecna, keeps having the different art from across the time. It's got a Sararak and the tale of the Tomb of Horrors, and it does harken back to the old 1E and actually little brown books art in some places. It talks about the problem of long chaos. Why is Greyhawk special? And the conclusion that he comes to is that because of the ancient apocalypse between the Sul and Baklunish empires so long ago in the distant past, which really devastated that part of Ulrich. The book here postulates, and this is, of course, it's an unreliable author, unreliable narrator, because it is Mordenkainen and he's not infallible. But he posits that the reason that Orth is so central and so important, and so many powerful beings keep going there and trying to conquer it and so forth, is because the ripples of that of the invoked devastation and the reign of uh, um, uh, the reign of colorless fire just vibrated throughout the multiverse, and it started attracting all these powerful beings. And I find that a very compelling and interesting idea. That's why it's so. That's why things keep coming to Greyhawk. It's a really cool thing. And again, there's more about balance and so forth. And it ends with a little 2-page short story by Jasmine Bhullar, who I've never heard of, but I read it, and it's it's pretty decent. It's doesn't advance much of anything, but it's a nice little glimpse, into this sort of thing. So it's it's a very cool thing. And like I say, they've got Mystara, they've got all kinds of other things, and they do that same kind of light, high level. Here's a couple of central themes, and they celebrate a lot of the art. It's not necessarily all Mystara art. They sprinkle in stuff from just the monster manuals and players handbooks and things like that. Across the years. Got Dragonlance and the Cataclysm and. It's a all in all, it's a very cool thing, and it's not a WotC book, so I didn't feel bad getting it. Um, it's got Baldur's Gate in here. I'm just flipping through it at random. It's got the Yankee and the Ethereal Plane and the Feywild, the Allure of Magic. I mean, they got some really cool things in here. Some art I really recognize, and some art I've never seen before, probably because it was in some third or fourth or fifth edition book that I never bought. But it's well worth getting, I think, if you're into all the different worlds and such. If you're looking for a little walk down memory lane and getting a little what you call it, a little nostalgia going here. It was $50. I'm sure it's a little cheaper on Amazon. I'll put a link to it below. But the Greyhawk stuff again. I don't think those few pages are worth $50 for the book if you're just looking for Greyhawk material. There's nothing really new or earth shattering, in it. But as a celebration of all of the various campaign worlds that TSR and Wizards of the Coast has had, without having to buy a book from Wizards of the Coast, which I know is important to a lot of people. It's important to me too. I'm sure they get a cut. It's licensed, but you can't avoid that. On the whole, it's pretty decent. It's I'll probably flip through it for some of the other things like Dragonlance, that I was really into at back in the day. So anyway, um, so Worlds and Realms. It's a kind of a celebration of the 50th anniversary, and it's it does the job, and it gives you a nice little bit of information about the different some of the different campaign worlds. So anyway, hope you like this one. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you all.
Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.